how can I work with a person from another country? And are they going to be able to understand what I'm asking them to do specifically?
Well, for us, the Philippines, they all speak and understand English. They can speak it, they can understand it, they can write it. So that's not a concern. Now, it is for a lot of them. It's not for none of them. It's their first language, but they start learning it very early on. So that's really not a concern. I mean, that would be something at the beginning that if you're having them do a writing task or anything where they really need to know English really well, that may be a different level of somebody that's studied a little bit longer. But for all the stuff I'm having them do, their English. I mean, in most cases, I mean, a lot of them have worked for call centers, so they've talked to Americans over and over and over again, and their English is a lot of times better than a lot of Americans. So that's not really a concern, especially with the ones that we hire.
A lot of time when you hear call center, you
Uh
think
huh.
of India, and then it's like that
Right.
whole trope of that's the voice that they use. But
Hmm.
I don't hear that with the Filipino language
No.
because there isn't a heavy accent with it. And a lot of times I would, if you were not on a Zoom call and you were talking to them, you would assume you're talking to an American. The
Hmm.
only difference is, like I said, is if you're hiring them and employing them, it's a very formal way to speak, which is not common for us. But
Yeah.
it was never a I could not understand them
No.
communication barrier. It was just like, oh, this is different. Yes, sir. No, sir. It made me a little uncomfortable at the beginning because I was like, I'm already a little weary of hiring somebody. Now the communication is a little funny. Like
Right.
I don't feel like I'm that in charge because I'm barely holding this thing together. But I think you build up that relationship, and then the communication is, to me, language part of it is never a problem.
Hmm. Hmm. I talk to so many business owners that need this. That know they need to hire out, but that process of finding, hiring, training that right person just seems like such a huge hurdle that they just, my gosh, I know I need to hire somebody, but that's I'm so focused on my business that to take time away, it seems like a full-time job to hire somebody, and then they just don't do it. And they continue to suffer and doing those things that they know they shouldn't be doing.
Do you, this might be a setup. Do you have a resource for helping people
We
figure
do.
out how to get their time back?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So go to wingmanvas.com. We have a free download that answers questions about outsourcing. It has a little, almost like a workbook feel to it where we have some of the things that, we want you to write down the tasks that you are, not good at and don't enjoy. Writing those tasks down will just help you get focused on what am I doing in my business? And then thinking, okay, which ones do I want to hire out first? And in my opinion, it should be the things that you're not good at and you don't enjoy. Get those off your plate because that'll immediately give you just a sense of mental relief. Like, wow, oh my gosh, I don't have to do that job anymore. That thing that I hate that I'm not good at. So that's something that Stephen and I are putting together. It's called Wingman VAs, wingmanvas.com.